Today we are interviewing Gwendolyn, the founder of Darë Cheese. It's a plant-based cheese and based in Asheville, North Carolina. And as David and I call it, it's the very best vegan cheese we've ever had.
Mm.
Like truly, I already warned Gwendolyn we were going to gush um, because we love it so much. I didn't even realize it was based in Asheville until recently because every time I see it in Georgia, I jump, I run, I gallop over to get it. So we're excited to talk to you today because
If I,
you have created our favorite thing to munch on.
we saw you at Veg Fest. We went to look around just to look around Veg Fest, and we were like, wait, nope, hold on. But first, let's
Only
get in the
thing
massive
we
line to tell you
bought.
for me.
That's so cool. We sell out so fast at Veg Fest. We have people just like literally bring a cooler just to fill up and then
Yeah,
go about their merry way. It's
Oh yeah,
amazing.
that's
that was probably
amazing. So we're
I
going
think my
to
biggest
dive
purchase that
into
entire
it.
day.
We bought a bunch that day for sure. But we want to hear about you personally. So, Gwendolyn, tell us all about yourself.
Cool. I started this company in 2019. Before that, I was not a vegan chef. And I was just a foodie. So I was in the Asheville food scene for since I graduated college. I came to Asheville to get a degree in biology. So I got that in 2013, and then went into the service industry because I couldn't use my degree. And I worked my way up to, working in at running kitchens. And I realized what Asheville needed. And I didn't really think of it on like, a national scale or anything like that. But it was,
Right.
it was like, what does my community need? So that's where vegan cheese came from for me. But yeah, Asheville, I've been here for about 10 years. Love it. Hopefully you guys have been able to come out here. It's its
Yes.
own little
A couple of times.
hub of differentness. I love it. But yeah, now I'm the cheese lady. That
Yeah.
is that is who I am at this point. And I love it. So I did grow up in Kill Devil Hills. I've always been a North Carolina kid. I grew up in Outer Banks in North Carolina. Lived there 16 years until I started venturing around and doing a bunch of crazy stuff in my early 20s. But landed here when I was 20. And yeah.
Nice. Oh, I love that. I want to hear about how you became a vegan. How did that venture into your life? Because it's always kind of how we start our interviews. How did you get into this lifestyle?
Totally. So when I was working at a barbecue restaurant, I opened a restaurant out here in Asheville. That was insane. I was like, making barbecue for 2 years and I hated it by the end of it. And so all of my other jobs previously as a chef required, tasting my dishes. And it was always, an omnivore diet. So I took a job at Warren Wilson College, which is this tiny little liberal arts school out here in Swannanoa. And they have such a cool program where they have their own designated vegan cafe. So it's the same thing. They can use their dining points card. It's,
Wow.
part of their meal plan. It's just totally separate from their main dining hall. And they were hiring for a chef, a supervisor. It's also Warren Wilson is such a progressive school that, all of my staff were students. So if you live on campus
Ooh.
there, you have to work on campus. So I had a bunch of
Oh,
18-year-olds, some of them who've never had a job, let alone working in a kitchen, and especially
right.
not vegan food. And then I had a few students that specifically would want to work at the vegan cafe. So that was a crazy learning experience. And it was the first time that I didn't have to eat meat for my
Right.
job. And so I did it as like a personal challenge. Honestly, I was like, since I don't have to do this for work, let's see if it's sustainable for me as a person.
Like that.
And I did just at first I just went vegetarian. That was kind of my preface. I gave up the animals that I think are cute. Was my basis. And then as I continued to see how it affected my health and my thought process and just like how I related to the world, that's when the vegan cheese thought was like, well, I can't give up cheese. Like this is an issue for me.
Right.
I tried all of the things on the market. BioLife was the best that there was back then. And I was like, I'm going to take this into my own hands. So, so yeah, my story kind of started with, becoming vegetarian, wanting to be vegan and not being able to do it because there wasn't a product that I felt was good enough to,
Right.
so, as an alternative. But yeah, once I figured it out, it was easy peasy from there.
Wow.
So interesting. What would normally stop some people and they would just give up and never go vegan? You were like, I'm just going to make my own cheese.
I'll just start a company, no big deal.
Not, not.
That's totally great. I love it.
What was the most difficult part about kind of developing your product? Because it's again it's so I don't know, iconic, but it's like it's so received within the community. What was the most difficult part about getting that texture right?
So for me, it was, so I wanted to make vegan cheese, right? That was the idea, but I didn't know how to do it. I would
Right.
look at, the Violife, the Dia, the whatever, it was like starches and oils and crap, that usually made me feel sick. And that's
Right.
that's not the point. So for me, I was like, they're skipping out. I'm such a foodie. I was like, they're skipping out on what cheese making is. And cheese making is, there's a medium, which is, usually dairy milk, whatever type of milk it
Right.
is. And then a culture. So
Mhm.
cheese for me is not cheese unless there's a microbe involved. Um, and so I bought all the books that existed. I got the Miyoko's book, started messing around with Rejuvelac and probiotic capsules, and that's really what she kind of touched on in her book. And
Mhm.
then the most wholesome story, I can't make this up. I had a student come up to me. I was like kind of experimenting, bringing some experiments in for them to try. And I had two jobs at that point, working at Warren Wilson. I was serving at night because I don't come from generational wealth, so I had to save up my own money to start my business.
I
So
can
I
understand.
was literally serving at night to save up, and I was just tired. And she comes up to my door and she said, "Hey, I know you've been working really hard. I did a lot of research, and I think this book is the best one." She handed it to me and she said, "Don't give up on your dreams." And this is like seriously just like stuck in my brain. I took it home that night and I had my like epiphany moment where I read, it's a book by Karen McCarthy. It's called the Art of Plant-Based Cheesemaking. And
Oh.
she goes into more depth about the different types of cultures and like the different types of mediums. She's such a science nerd. I've taken a class with her on Zoom. She's out of Canada. She knows her stuff. And so it was the first time that I found a new culture. So our secret
Mm.
sauce, I'm not gonna say what it
Don't
is.
tell.
Um,
No.
but it is,
After the
like we
interview, you'll
make
tell
our
us.
own, yeah, we'll talk about it
Yeah,
and we're
yeah.
not recording. Um,
Fun.
we make a yogurt essentially. So once I
Okay.
started making a coconut yogurt and then trained that onto cashews, that is where that's where it changed everything. I was like, wow, this tastes like cheese. Everything else
Right.
I had tried I was like, like you kind of taste the microbes. It tastes like probiotic capsules. Rejuvelac kind of, depending on the medium, will give you weird sulfury taste, or it will
Oh, wow.
overculture or whatever it is. So it was figuring out the medium, it was figuring out the culture,
Mm.
and then we call that our curd. So it's cashews, water, salt, and then our yogurt. And then you guys, I probably fell in love with the wedges at this point. That's
Yes.
Oh
that's
yeah.
our um
Oh
yeah. So
Yeah.
I was actually making a cheesecake. I was just messing around. I was like, I'm going to take this curd, I'm going to make a crust, I'm going to make a cheesecake. And when I did that, I was like, well, that worked. What if I make a
Hmm.
cheese? Like it's funny to me that cheesecake came first, but that's
Oh, that's
where
so interesting.
yeah, that's where the magic, I guess,
Right.
happened. But it all started with cashews is our secret sauce. Definitely like our logo. It's when I was starting my company, all I knew was that I wanted to use cashews. So I didn't
Right.
know how to make cheese when our logo came about. So that's why it's so simplistic. It's just it's just about cashews, because I was like, I don't know how to do this.
That's
But I know we're going to use cashews.
well, see,
Right.
a lot of
Right.
times that's the best place to start because if you don't know how to do something, you don't know where the limits are.
Right.
So
Exactly.
you just
Yeah.
do whatever
Oh,
because you don't know if it's wrong or right. You just know this works. If you know what's
right.
wrong or
Right.
right, you're less likely to try something that could surprisingly work.
Exactly. And I didn't know that I had made something that was so good until I had enough people be like, what in the hell did you do?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Um,
I
so
stretched that last little bit as long as I could. Uh,
So good. Oh my gosh. I will say after Veg Fest, I just ate a bunch of cheese for a very long time, but I ended up with like a tiny bit of each wedge left over. And so I just made this amazing pasta with this
uh,
like I could never replicate it because it was random amounts of like cheese and just oh, it was so good. But the whole time I'm just like, praise this woman. I love her so much.
I feel y'all's love. I so like everybody's like putting that out in the universe. And it is, as
Hmm.
a small business owner that had no idea what I was doing, like if I didn't get all that love and feedback from you
Hmm.
guys, I would not have been able to keep going. It was rough starting a business, not knowing
Yeah.
what I was doing. So like literally the community support, the love of the cheese is what pushed me to
Right.
continue doing what I was doing.
And the feedback has been pretty great, especially like in the southeast of this country where they're just freaking out over your cheese. But do you have plans to kind of expand out of this area?
Yeah, so we signed on to this like wholesale platform this year called Fair, and that's been able to get us. We're in 30 states now,
oh
so
wow.
yeah, that's really cool. So we're pretty saturated. We're not in like all over the states, but we're in at least one place in 30 states.
Right.
Um, and then one of our big moves, and it's something that I've been working on since we got the NCIDEA grant in 2021. And that was the first time I saw business owners look at my business model and believe in it and, fund us through a grant.
Mm,
And I used a lot of that grant money to do our packaging.
mhm,
It looks, very professional. It
mhm.
was made to be on the shelf of a grocery store. So that
Right.
was 2 years ago. I started thinking about that, getting that in place, doing all of that, and then we moved. So we had a facility change at the beginning of 2022 last year. I started my company in the basement of the restaurant where I was serving. So upstairs, I would serve at night, and the nights that I wasn't serving, I would be downstairs experimenting, making cheese, stocking up the fridge, whatever it was. I was really
Right.
lucky to have that kind of incubator space. Another business owner saw it and was like, that's a great idea.
Right.
Use this space. And so we grew as much as we could in that space until we started kind of butting heads with the other sous chefs. And we were just like, there's no way that I can distribute out of a basement alley in downtown Asheville.
Right.
There's no way that we could have done that. So we found our facility last year, happenstance, just a Google, and we took over. It's way too big for us at this point. I've actually got a vegan. They make vegan dog treats in part of the
Oh,
facility right now, so that
nice.
because we don't need that space. So um, that came about. We have all of these small little things in place so that in May of this year we'll launch in 46 Whole Foods.
Yes.
Um,
Oh my
Oh
yes,
yeah.
gosh, that's exciting.
That could be very
yeah, we'll
bad for
totally
me.
Exciting enough.
saturate them.
That could be
What
very
was that?
bad for me. I don't know if that's a good.
It
That's
is a
good.
good thing.
I don't know if it's good for me because
It will be everywhere.
I might be broke by that. Okay, we got. I'm just kidding.
Listen, Whole Foods is still like 30 minutes for me, so I can control myself at least a tiny
I have like
bit.
4 within
Make
30
a
minutes of
special
me.
trip.
So
Oh my gosh. So I read on your website that part of your tradition with your dad was having like a cheese and crackers meal.
Mhm.
And I was wondering, what does your dad think of the vegan cheese? Like, does when you have your cheese and cracker meals, is it just your cheese now? I'm just so curious.
So you're gonna love this. My dad works for me. Um,
Yes. Oh,
my
it makes me
dad,
so happy.
my he makes cheese. So
Yes.
on Sundays, he's the guy that makes the curd. So he's figured out the fermentation process. He makes the queso. Like we give him. I'm not going to say the easy things, but he's 68 years old. So I give my dad the less difficult, heavy
Right.
lifting things. But yeah, he moved out to Asheville last October. Well, no. 2020. He's been here for a little over a
Yeah.
year. He's been working for me for over a year. Because that's where I learned my stuff from, right? He was the
Right.
chef that inspired me, and
Yeah.
he saw the business, and he was still in the food industry. And I was like, Dad, let me give you a job you love and you are
Mm-hmm.
proud to have. And I think about your health and all of these things
Yes.
that the service
Yes.
industry doesn't really do. So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
he loves it.
Awesome. That was the best answer. That was way better than I was expecting.
not,
I love that.
remember
Oh,
the time to make the donuts commercial?
yes. Hmm. I
You see
Mhm.
remember
that?
that.
I think it's
Hmm.
your dad walking like time to make the curd, turn the lights on.
Yeah. At like
Time to
4
make the
a.m.
curd.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, I love that. That's a great story.
I love
You
that.
also have a quote on your website. I'm going to read it because I love this. With a team of dedicated and passionate individuals, Dairy chooses people over machinery and passion over everything, to make a product infused with love and intention. Beautiful. So, people over machinery. I love this. So you're basically saying your people are more important than the machinery. Your passion is more important than everything else. You don't see that from companies very often. And even vegan companies don't talk like that. I am inspired by that. And I want to know, like, why is it so important to you to focus on the people in your company?
Well, I come from the service industry. So there's, the bad rap. I think COVID really kind of brought that to the foresight, but they just don't take care of their people. You're
Hmm.
disposable. You don't matter. They'll talk down to you.
Right.
It's a harsh work environment.
Hmm.
I've worked both front and back of the house. I can't say which one's better. They're both pretty
Right.
difficult on you as a human being. And so having worked for my dad said this to me one time. He said, "You will learn more from the bosses that you hate than you will from the ones you like." And
Oh gosh.
I learned a lot in the service
Mhm.
industry about what I don't want to do to people.
Right.
Um, and so, yeah, the inspiration to provide a better job for myself was the first step, and then it's just been the biggest joy to steal people from the service industry and give them a job that they love.
Right.
My staff is incredible. I have 7 on staff now at this point, and we are the best little team.
Yeah.
This would not be possible. I mean, we have nothing that's automated. Everything is handmade. We literally
Hmm.
cut a cheese with a pie cutter. Like everything is hand touched in the
I love
nicest
it.
way. Like literally, we love our job, and so
Hmm.
that translates into everything we do after that.
Yeah.
And that is maybe my favorite part of this. Like, I love that I get to provide amazing cheese for everybody, but the fact that I have a workplace that I love and
Hmm.
they love and we love each other,
Yep.
that man,
Yeah.
that's why I did this.
Yeah. Just to see them every day and know that they're happy to come to work. That's huge. That is huge. You're
Yeah.
amazing. To make them like you even more. All right, let's get into some of our favorite questions. Most popular item.
Oh, I'd have to say balsamic fig. I
Oh,
think that
Oh,
wedge is our best seller.
yes.
Is
It's
that
so
your one?
good.
it's
It's
one of my
so
favorites. It's
good.
good. Although the strawberry
Oh,
jalapeno, whatever that I had this last
I didn't
time,
have that one, the strawberry jalapeno one. I didn't have
Oh,
that
that's one of the new ones,
one.
right? I think I've had that before.
It's so
yeah, that
good.
we're always
Awesome.
experimenting.
Yeah.
I used to change. I When I first started, I would trade cheese to a farmer at the farmer's market, and then I would use their produce in the next week's cheese. So it was always
Oh,
try to stay like as sustainable and local as possible. So that strawberry jalapeno you're talking about, we used a local hot sauce maker.
Oh
So
wow.
oh, nice.
um, and then we put our magic into it too. But I'm always trying to think of other ways to continue to support Asheville as it's supported me. So
Because
I love that.
that's I think about this one thing I do love is the flavors, because you can use, like, you have very basic flavors you can use for, like, there's like cheddars and different things like that, but you have unique flavors, and like, and the one I think maybe you got this one as well was the bourbon caramelized pear
yeah,
that
That was to die for.
I was
it was like
that's
almost sweet and savory,
yeah,
like
Hmm.
the
Yeah.
perfect
that's the one I
mix.
stretched out as long as I could.
Yes.
But so that, and when you're coming up with your flavors, like you said, you're trying to think of, do you just, is something you just think you try, or how do you go through the process of figuring out what flavors work together, or or is just the magic in your brain?
Yeah, I think it's just like, I'm like, damn, that sounds good. It's
Exactly.
it's because I used to, like I have so much experience in a kitchen. I, would make specials. I would, I was always coming up with new things to stay relevant. And, Asheville's so competitive in the food scene. So you have to know your flavors. And if I have like, I want to use pears, or I want to use this one thing, like the Flavor Bible is one of my favorite cookbooks that exist. You can say like peaches, and then you look up peaches, and it'll list them of all of the things that peaches go with. So if I'm really stuck, I'll pop that guy out, and I'll be like, well, I really, really want to use this ingredient. What's going to go with it? But yeah, I think that one for the pear, I think we just wanted to put bourbon in something.
I'm okay with that. Like I'm always, that's my goal. It's like, how can I put bourbon in this?
Yeah. Cheese. Yeah, that's where I was at.
All right. Oh gosh, I also got some of your cheesecake, which I had never tried before, and it was divine. And you got the cream cheese, didn't you, David?
I got cream cheese, and I got the cheesecake. I got the chai cheese.
Excuse me.
I should just give me all of it. Put it all in a bag.
I know it was hard to decide. It really was. Okay, so we talked about most popular item. What's your favorite item?
My favorite is pepper jack.
Yes.
Yeah. It's so close to it. Like when I made it, I was like, oh my God. So yeah.
I feel like it's more peppery. Like it's got more to it. It's like every bite you have a pepper in it, and you just don't get that in like normal cheese. Oh, okay. Good one. We talked about
I take chunks of that. I take chunks of it and put it on burgers. It's so good on a burger.
Oh, that would be good.
We do have I don't know if you guys can get it out there. I don't want to like make you sad, but we have a pimento right now. So our seasonal for the first quarter, we change our seasonal. We have a seasonal cheesecake, cream cheese, and wedge each quarter. This time we were playing with it in our holiday box. We made a pimento cheese. It was my dad's recipe, honestly. He came up with it, where we took the Asheville cheddar, kind of chopped it up, put it within our cream cheese. And for that one, we added vegan mayonnaise. But for this one, honestly, it's better without vegan mayonnaise. It's incredible. Nice. And we have a local, it's called Trashy Vegan. They're really good at making burgers, and they're just doing a pimento burger all month. And I'm just like, I can't eat it every day, but right. I might go pretty often.
Oh,
I might do a road trip.
I know. Right? Yeah. Oh gosh. Okay. We've talked about future plans, but do we have any new products coming that we should get excited about? I mean, you don't have to spoil anything.
Yeah, I don't know if we have new products. We are working on some technological stuff on our side so that we can start doing custom orders on our website. Ooh. So we have a lot of, right now we just have, boxes, curated boxes, like our seasonal staple, and then, whatever random box we're doing for that month. But we have enough people that are like, I just want, 6 roasted garlic, or I want,
right.
They have their favorite. And so the technology behind that we don't have on our website right now. And I'm super excited to bring that to people, because I think they'll be really excited to be able to get what they want exactly from us.
Right.
Without me telling them that you should get this box, or you know what I mean? Not necessarily a new product, but I know people are going to be so excited for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have a different like box every month. Is that what you just said? Like a specialty kind of box? Because I missed the Christmas one and I was real upset about that. I'm really sad.
Yeah. That one was the last 2 months of the year, how many orders we get for cheese is just crazy. It makes us so happy. This month we're doing easy. We did it last year. We called it Easy Being Cheesy. So we just kind of pick some of our favorites and put it in a box, and then next month we'll have what is the holiday? Valentine's Day. We'll have a Valentine's Day box. And that one we're going to do a little bit different. Usually we just put cheeses and cheesecakes, but we're going to sourced some local ingredients to make like a cheese board box, so that you can have the jam, the crackers, the mustard, everything you need is going to come to you. That's the plan for next month.
I don't even celebrate Valentine's Day with my husband. We've been married 22 years and we do not celebrate, but I may demand. If you're
if you love me.
Yes, I suddenly need a present, okay?
I'm gonna get it for myself.
But it's cheese. Oh my gosh, that sounds so good. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna talk about one more thing because I think this is really cool. I just saw that you were nominated for the 2023 Veggie Awards for Best Vegan Artisanal Cheese. That's amazing.
Isn't it cool?
So cool. I love it. I love it. Oh, definitely voting. I don't know when this episode is going out, if voting will be over yet. Do you know when voting ends?
It's the end of the month. I think it's the 31st.
Okay. So
it might be the 19th. It's sometime this month, but yeah, we've already had so many people. So I hope it's enough. I feel like we have so many people that love us, but that would just be the coolest. I don't even know what I would do. Yeah.
Well, we might have to change the release order so that this episode can go out so you can get some more votes, because I just think that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I'm super honored.
Oh gosh. Okay. I want to know, are you going to be at other Veg Fest coming up this year? Because I want people to know where they can find you and try your cheese and all that fun stuff.
Totally. So we always do the Asheville one. That one's super fun. If you've not made it out to that one, it's huge. It's downtown. It's maybe one of the biggest ones that they do.
I really want to go.
Yeah, it's worth the trip. The people, the Asheville community that comes out, and the people that come from, the guy that was next to me, he was from St. Louis or something. He came all the way from down there to hang out. And then always, Atlanta, we have so many fans there. We do the Triangle one. So, Raleigh, I think it was in Durham last year. Those ones are on my radar so far. Okay. I was considering possibly doing Vegan Dale this year, which is they have it in Miami. They have it in New York City. I think they have it in Chicago. It's like the vegan festival. So,
right.
We'll see. I always have all these plans, and then as a small business owner, you're like,
can't do all that.
Cute. Yeah. But definitely those three. I will absolutely be at those ones.
That's amazing. Because I really want to go to the Asheville Veg Fest, and I've been trying to talk David into it. Every year we talk about it. So
you don't have to talk me anything. I'm ready to go.
Put it on your calendar.
Right.
Get in my car now.
Oh gosh. I do have a random question too, because we are going to spend more of 2023 focusing on animal sanctuaries in Georgia and having them on the podcast and talking to them and promoting them. Do you have a Georgia sanctuary that you love that you would like to talk about?
In Georgia, I think Farm
It
of the
doesn't
Free
have
might
to be.
be.
You could do North Carolina. Go ahead. I don't care.
Yeah. I have some friends. I think Farm of the Free might be in South Carolina. Are they in Georgia?
It's in Georgia. They're in Georgia. Yeah.
Yeah, they're my homies. I love them.
Yeah, they are great.
And then there's a few out here. Farmshire is I can't remember, maybe Hendersonville. Local, they're local, called Farmshire. And then Wild Heart Sanctuary is a single mom and her kids that nice. that take care of whatever they can bring on, and they're out in Mars Hill. Love all of those people.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yay. A little shout out to some animal sanctuaries. Maybe we can venture, if we go to the Veg Fest, we could also maybe volunteer on the same day.
Exactly.
Come on.
We'll see what
we have a mission this year.
Yeah, make it a whole trip.
That's right. I mean, we're already going to drive out there. We might as well make it worth it.
The logic is sound. I've seen the holes in it.
David's so excited. Oh, goodness. Okay, so our final question that we always ask people is, do you have any tips for new vegans, especially because it is the beginning of the year? A lot of people are trying veganism, and our podcast is for, new vegans or people that are asking questions about veganism. So what are your tips as they venture into this world?
I think my number one tip is to have grace with yourself. I think the like all or nothing approach is I hate that society is like that.
Yeah.
So if you can make the small changes become habits, and then habits become your daily life. So
Right.
again, I started not all the way in, and then once I found all of the products that made me feel like I was satisfied and I was satiated, then it was easy. But you have to have a little bit of grace with yourself in all things in life. But especially when you're making a big change. So that's
Yeah.
my number one piece of advice.
I agree with that because I was like you. It was a challenge for myself. I just wanted to see if I could go vegan. And that was I gave myself, what was it, like 20 days to see if I could handle it. And I was like, I kind of love this forever now. So, but there are, people that can't go all or nothing. And we encourage that. We take those small steps, go slowly if you need to. And if you have any questions, obviously this podcast is great. And if you're looking for vegan cheese and you've tried a bunch and not real happy with them, we have all kinds of links. You can find where you can find this cheese. You also ship cheese as well, right?
We
Perfect.
do. Yeah.
So everybody, you can order it, have it shipped to you. Um, and I'm excited about the boxes because I didn't know you had one for every month. So that's also something I'd love for everybody to look into. So this has been fun. I'm excited. Now I want cheese and it's very far away from me.
You don't have any in your fridge? That's the worst.
Oh,
That's the worst
I
news.
know.
Not yours. It was just the worst part of it. It's
It is.
If
I'm
only we were
looking
in
at.
person, like sitting around a table eating cheese, you're like,
Oh.
wah, wah.
I'll let y'all talk, but like, y'all go ahead and talk. This is amazing.
Then people would just hear me
I'll just have a
chewing into
spoonful. Just go
the
down.
mic. God, that sounds amazing though. I'm gonna have to make a trip this weekend for sure. But this has been wonderful. Thank you for talking to us. Thank you for taking time in your day and letting us gush over your amazing cheese. Um, what you're doing is revolutionary. We're not just saying that. We don't tell people this just to say it. Like, truly, it is very different than anything else I've ever had. The flavors are unique. Everybody try it. I can't talk more. Such a dork. Oh, but where can everybody find you? That, like, online, where can they, like, what's the website, all that stuff?
Yeah. So again, like I said, 30 states. So if I could list off all of the places, I would be
Go.
my memory. Wow, I would be
Time
just
on.
amazing. But I update it as much as I can, at least once a month. So check under find us on our website. We've got it broken down by state, and then it's broken down by county or whatever city. But yeah, we're all over the place. So if you feel like we're not close, we might be close.
Right.
And then if we're not quite there yet, again, in May, we will be in all of the Southeast Whole Foods, not including Florida. So, from Virginia to Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, all of those. And then we'll ship to you. Yeah, like I said, we'll have that option up there. Hopefully by the end of this month is our goal. So we just
Amazing.
want to keep making it accessible,
Right.
because we have so many people that love us.
Mhm.
That's why I wanted to grow the way that we have. I still want it to be sustainable. I want it to be a handmade product. I don't think we ever will go national, if I'm being honest,
Right.
just because of all of the, I don't know, red tape required and
Mhm.
all of that, to stay a sustainable brand where everybody still loves their job and feels like they put their love and intention into each
Right.
product. We got to keep it a little exclusive. It
Which does make it better, I promise. Oh my
does.
gosh, that's amazing. I love that you're going to try to keep it, contained a little bit so that it can be hand touched still. I love that.
Yeah.
Not a lot of companies would say that. So another
No,
high
I'm
five
not.
for me.
Yeah, I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it for the love of my job, and
Ah,
that's just not going to go away. So
Excellent.
amazing, amazing. Well, thank you for chatting with us tonight and talking about cheese and all things cheese related. This has been wonderful, and there'll be all kinds of information in the show notes for you guys to find where you can eat this amazing cheese and support this amazing company by voting for them in the Veggie Awards. Everybody go do that. But thank you again. It's been wonderful.
thank you
And
guys.
that's it.
Thank you.
All right. And that's it for this week.
All right. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.